SMART objectives are a framework for creating clear learning goals in designing and building training courses. The acronym stands for Specific, Measurable, Achievable, Relevant, and Time-bound. The SMART framework originated in management literature in the 1980s and has been adapted for educational and training contexts. Let's dig deeper into what each of the SMART components mean. Specific. It means that objectives should clearly define what learners will be able to do, avoiding vague language. Instead of understand customer service, specify, demonstrate active listening techniques during customer interactions. Measurable. Include criteria that allow you to assess whether the objective has been met. Often involves observable behaviors or quantifiable outcomes, such as complete a task with 90% accuracy or identify 5 key components. Achievable. Objectives should be realistic given the learner's current skill level, available time, and resources. They should challenge people without being impossibly difficult. Relevant. Learning objectives must align with the overall training goals and the learner's job requirements or personal development needs. They should address real-world applications and problems learners face. Time-bound. Establish when the learning should be completed, whether by the end of a module, course, or specific time frame. This creates urgency and helps structure the learning experience. SMART objectives have several additional aspects worth understanding in training development. Writing effective SMART objectives. Well-written objectives typically use action verbs from Bloom's taxonomy. Verbs like analyze, evaluate, create, demonstrate, apply rather than passive verbs like know or understand. They focus on observable behaviors and outcomes rather than internal mental states. Pitfalls. Training developers often struggle with making objectives too broad. They confuse learning activities with learning outcomes or create objectives that are measurable but not meaningful. Another frequent issue is writing objectives at only one cognitive level when courses should progress through different levels of learning. Integration with course design. SMART objectives drive every other aspect of course development. They determine assessment methods, guide content selection, influence instructional strategies, and help identify necessary resources. This alignment ensures coherent, focused training programs. Benefits beyond planning. Clear objectives help learners take ownership of their learning and allow for better communication with stakeholders about training outcomes. They facilitate quality assurance reviews and enable meaningful evaluation of training ROI. SMART objectives should directly connect to specific assessment methods. If an objective states learners will demonstrate a skill, the assessment must provide opportunities for demonstration, not just written tests. Learner communication. Sharing SMART objectives with learners at the beginning of training helps set clear expectations, reduces anxiety, and allows learners to self-assess their progress throughout the course. Using SMART objectives in designing your training helps instructors create focused content, enables learners to understand expectations clearly, and provides concrete benchmarks for evaluating training effectiveness. They serve as the foundation for developing assessments, selecting appropriate instructional methods, and measuring learning outcomes. While it may require a bit of heavy lifting in the beginning, you can bet that employers and employees will all benefit from solid SMART objectives.